Hello, hello. This is the My Artifact episode number 3888. Today's date is February 15, 2026. It's been almost like a morning at 9:13 a.m. All right, let's just jump into the question. Let's go. All right. The question is, if something failed today, do I have a system in place to recover calmly and quickly? Okay, that's a really good question. Okay, first of all, what exactly is this question? Why am I asking this question to myself? This is YouTube realization question. I asked this question to myself so that I would understand myself as a content creator more. I would understand myself more about as a kind of like a platform, Instagram, YouTube platform. I would know more about my content creation, my execution, my creativity. Okay. Asking this question to myself, I would realize more about that. Ki, am I that particular person? Am I that YouTuber? Am I that content creator or not? Okay. It gives me realization. It gives me that aware of that key, like, am I worth it to consider myself as a YouTuber or not? All right. Now, regarding about the question says that if something failed today, do I have a system in place of doing my work or recover calmly or things like that, or kind of like a backup system? Do I have that? Well, I don't have. Okay, like what if my laptop kind of like simply just broke or things or something happened with my laptop? I don't really have any other system to kind of like do my work. Why I don't really have any other system? Well, it's just like that na ki it's not really that key. Okay, let me give you the understanding. Okay, all right. Right now I'm kind of like sitting here very much nicely. All right, yeah. So, what is exactly is this thing that matter to execute any content creation? Is the system? No, it's not a system. It's a, from my point of perspective, I think that now it's a willingness to do. Okay, yeah. Like I wanted to create a video. What exactly things that you need the most? The the willingness that you have to do. Like I just want to do it. Okay, and that's the only thing that I think that a creator needs. Like I don't know how to supposed to explain this thing. Okay, 2 year ago when my laptop got kind of like a it kind of like a takes so much amount of noises. The fan is not working or fan is working. It kind of like a, like I don't know. It kind of like the fan. It kind of like a creates so lot of noises. So I took my laptop to the service station, and they said that key it will take like a tomorrow you will get fan replacement. I said, yeah, okay, that's fine. Now that night, that service station caught up with the fire. Now that service station caught up with the fire, my laptop got burned. By the way, they didn't really mention that my laptop was burned. Nah, nothing really at all. They say that ki we actually got damaged a lot. Your laptop is good, but we will not gonna kind of like give you laptop. And they didn't really give me laptop for a month. Literally, I was kind of like a begging for every single day. Call them. Where is my laptop? Where is my laptop? Where is my laptop? Actually, my laptop got burned. Okay, yeah, like my back panel is kind of like simply burned. A little bit of component got burned and things like that, but they didn't really mention that thing. They say that ki we will kind of like bring you new laptop, and or maybe kind of like somebody try to kind of like give you new parts and things like that, the RAM and things like that. So I was like, sure, yeah, do it. But still, they didn't really kind of like give me my laptop. Okay, yeah, like for a month, and I was kind of like suddenly my content creation was stop, and I don't know what do I supposed to do because everything is in my laptop, like everything, the Premiere Pro, every soft, like everything is my software, is my laptop. Okay, how do I supposed to execute any kind of like assembly work? I was like, I haven't really done any kind of like a stuff for kind of like assembly week. Then I realized that key it's not really good. Like I'm not really sure when will I get laptop and things like that. And I am not really wanted to kind of like take that consistent gap. I don't want to break that gap. I wanted to upload my content every single day. So I thought that ki I have to kind of like a look from different point of approach. Okay, at that time I was kind of like simply creating gaming content, and obviously I cannot able to create that gaming content because obviously I don't really have a laptop. So what do I supposed to do? So basically this thing, I thought that ki let's take a photo. Okay, I like taking photos, so let's take a creative photos. I kind of like went to Pinterest, kind of like found a creative photos, and I thought that ki, yeah, I could make that creative photos. Okay, yeah, and I would explain that how do I supposed to do this thing. So basically it's this thing na ki I have phone, it has a inbuilt screen recording, it has a camera, it has a Lightroom, a free version Lightroom, but had enough. Okay, yeah. So this is what I do. I kind of like simply try to take creative photos, and I like basically this thing. I try to kind of like simply make a kind of like a simply short video regarding about how do I take that creative photos. Okay, yeah, like I need this, I need that, and then I kind of like a simply that key use a screen recording to kind of like a things and take a photo and that and that. Now I make that short video. It's not really that good, but it is kind of like a simply better than nothing. Okay, yeah. I upload that kind of like a short video on YouTube channel. It got 400 views. I was like, 400 views is kind of like a, for most of people is not really that much, but for me that is too much because before that I was not really getting anything at all. 400 views was like, oh my god, like that is gold. Okay, yeah. So next day I tried to do the same thing. Okay, yeah. I kind of like a try to edit my video in a kind of like a simply the mobile editor. Okay, yeah, basic mobile editor. Like there is a like a Adobe Rush. Okay, yeah, I try to edit the video, but music is I'm trying to figure it out how do I supposed to do this thing, but like but somehow it done. Okay, yeah, like I could execute my video. It takes time. It sometimes my mobile phone get hang and things like that, but in the end the video is done. Sorry, the shot is done. Okay, yeah. Now the biggest problem is that ki editing, because my mobile phone get hang while editing. Okay, yeah. At that time I have like a Redmi 14 something. Yeah, Redmi 11. Okay, Redmi 11 probably. Okay, it was very basic phone. Okay, yeah. The most thing that it could do is that the camera, and that's it. Okay, yeah. Processing is not really like every time it kind of like a hang and things like that. So I need a kind of like a simply editing, and basically is this thing that I need a laptop. Okay, yeah. So I called my friend. He has a kind of like a spare laptop which is a very old and very kind of like a simply is this thing that like it takes so much amount of time to start and things and that, and probably kind of like a doing editing on that laptop. It's like it's a i3 processor. Okay, this laptop is actually from 2016, yeah, 15 maybe. Okay, like yeah, it's a very Dell laptop. Okay, yeah. But I have something, okay, instead of nothing. So I kind of like asked my friend that can you give me laptop for a couple of weeks. He says yeah, I'll take it. So I kind of like bring his laptop and try to edit. Editing is kind of like a very much hassle. Like installing Premiere Pro takes kind of like years to install. Whatever, it just install it. I edit my video. It's not really that editing. Like basically I just have to stitch one clip after another. So it's not really that key kind of like a very heavy editing. Rest of the thing is actually happening in the phone and things like that. So I just did it. I make a shot and kind of like upload that shot in YouTube platform, YouTube and Instagram platform. Get somewhat kind of like a 500 to 600 views. That's it. So basically is this thing na ki what exactly is this thing, like what is like if I kind of like give the any kind of like some answer, what do you really require to execute any kind of like a piece of content? Is the external source or internal thing? For me, from my point of perspective, I just want to make my video and I just want to upload my video. Okay, yeah. If there is no thing, like if there is no hardware or things like that, obviously hardware technical things are bit more essential. Okay, yeah. Without laptop I can't do able to edit and things and that. But it's not meant to be that ki like because of my laptop I'm not really exist. No, I just try to figure it out. I tried, like I have my mobile phone now, I just have to do it. I did it. sometime it work and fine, like basically it's better than nothing na. So I try this thing. So basically it's this thing that na ki having a backup system or having a kind of like a only backup thing, yeah, like if you can afford, or if you could kind of like simply do this thing, or if you have that thing, just do it. But probably is this thing for me is that ki whatever I have, just just use it. Okay, yeah. Instead of kind of like me thinking about that ki things and that and that. Right now, I don't really have any kind of like a backup system. Like tomorrow my laptop got broke, I probably don't really have anything at all. But it doesn't make me stop. I manage. I will figure it out something. I will kind of like do my content. It's not really that key. I would not gonna do that thing. Okay, huh? Having a backup system would be really good, but right now I can't really afford to have another backup system. Okay, yeah. When I will have, I might gonna do this thing, but probably just like that key, just do it. If I have to give any kind of like some advice to any kind of like a content creator, probably it's just like that na ki just use it whatever you have. Yeah, that kind of like a smudges, unfiltered, or kind of like a rawness will kind of like a somebody gives you very different point of perspective. Probably. I'm not really expert. I'm not really sure that what kind of like a content that you are kind of like a creating, or how much equipment that you need and things like that. But probably there is a way that you might gonna do this thing. It's a kind of like somebody that na ki a willingness to do. Okay, yeah. If you are just kind of like stopping yourself because of you don't really have nothing, then probably you might not gonna grow for longer period of time, because there is so many challenge and things will gonna happen. There is always be something that you don't have, even if you are how rich you are and things and that and that. Important thing is that ki whatever you have, use it or adjust it. Probably we have kind of like a one term. I belong to the India, so by the way, I'm kind of like a telling you that thing. We have called as a jugaad. Okay, yeah. So jugaad is a kind of like a represent such a word that like whatever you have, just use it, or kind of like a simply solve the problem by whatever you have. That's it. Like don't like if you have kind of like a simply variable credible source and money and things, okay, you will kind of like a focus on kind of like a build up such a solution that kind of like a simply, yeah. But when you don't really have anything at all, you don't really have money and things and that, whatever you have, like a less of money or less of equipment, just try to execute. That is called jugaad, by the way. And I think that now I am kind of like simply having this sense of jugaad in myself because I'm belong to the India. So yeah, it just kind of like a works. So yeah, that's it. Should I ask another question? Yeah, let's ask another question. Okay, yeah. Okay, is my file structure, storage system, and backup process organized, safe, and future proof? Oh, that's a really good question. Okay, yeah. Okay, so there is only one thing that I wanted to mention. Okay, yeah. So I was kind of like a recording artifact. Okay, yeah, I'm recording artifact since 2015. Okay, yeah. And I'm kind of like a recording artifact daily. Okay, so most of my artifact are audio based platform, like this. Okay, like a audio, it's a wave based platform. So basically it's this thing, when I kind of like a record my audio, I kind of like a stored in my PC. Okay, yeah, or laptop. Now the problem is that I have so many of recording, like literally like thousands of recording, and probably is in some of the videos and things and that and that. Okay. Basically what is actually happened that I was kind of like actually saving this recording file for almost like a decade. Okay, yeah. Till 2024. Okay, yeah, 24. I tried to kind of like a save and things and that and that. But then my hard disk got corrupted. Okay, literally, like I bought the kind of like basically I don't really have storage, so I kind of like bought the kind of like a hard disk, okay, external hard disk to kind of like save my artifacts and things like that. But probably what is actually happened, COVID actually happened, and in the COVID, I came home and kind of like something happened. My external hard drive is got corrupted. All my artifact episode was in there. And I was like, what the fuck? Like literally almost like thousands of artifacts. Okay, yeah. But by the way, I kind of like somebody backup of those artifacts. I kind of like took the backup in another hard drive, which is actually stored in my home. It's like a kind of like somebody wrap up the kind of like a things, and I will put in the kind of like somebody at home that something wrong actually happened. I do have a kind of like a backup recording at my home, so it might not kind of like a things. Now because of my new hard disk got corrupted, it was like really fucked up. Thank God I have backup. Then I realized that, okay, dude, that is not like a basically it's this thing. These are kind of like a gold for me artifact. Okay, yeah, and I cannot able to kind of like somebody just like basically it's this thing that keep like just gone all those artifacts. It's not. It's been almost like a decade of effort that I'm putting, and kind of like a suddenly kind of like a put the shift delete, then probably I just like I will gonna die literally. Okay, yeah. So basically it's this thing that is not good. I need to find a kind of like another sources to kind of like somebody have the artifact. Now having a like a basically there is only one source that I might think that would kind of like a work longer period of time. It would be kind of like a invest in kind of like a external SSD. Okay, yeah, but external SSD is a kind of like a very expensive, very expensive. Like a basically 200 and 250 GB, it cost almost like a more than 10,000 rupees, and probably that is not the price that I could afford. So I realized that there is only one thing that I could able to do: upload all artifact on YouTube platform. Okay, yeah. Why? Because of that key, when I upload my artifact in the YouTube platform, then storage is not an issue. YouTube will not gonna delete. Okay, yeah, it's not that key YouTube will gonna delete kind of like a delete. Nothing will at all. Also another thing is that it's very easy to convenient for me. That key I could able to kind of like access my artifact whenever I want. Like I just have to open the YouTube and things like that, right? So I decided that let's upload the artifact on YouTube platform. But that is not as easy as you think it is. Like there are almost like a 3,000 artifact. 3,000 artifact. Like a have you not really understand 3,000 means how many big number it is? Okay, yeah. Sorry, I was like stopping the motor, whatever. So where was I? I was at the artifact. Okay, yeah. Okay, so basically is this thing that key I have to be upload almost like a 3,000 of artifact on YouTube platform. Okay, now the problem start from beginning. First of all, most of my artifact is in audio format, and you cannot able to be upload your audio into the kind of like a YouTube. Obviously not. You have to be make a video. How do I supposed to make a video? Okay, so there is only one thing. You just have to select the audio, put it into the Premiere Pro, put it in the timeline, add the kind of like a something that key, a kind of like a something that like a, whatever it is. Like if you put audio into timeline, it will become a video. It will become video. Then you have to add a kind of like a something like text, like a my artifact episode number and that date, and export that video, export that audio into the video. Very simple thing, right? Yeah. Now you have to do this step for 3,000 times. 3,000 times. Like, are you fucking kidding me? How much that would be? Like, basically it was like a so torture. Like every day I kind of like do my work, and after I do my work I was kind of like assembly editing my artifact. Like basically add the kind of like assembly artifact into the timeline, kind of like add that number and date, and then I export. And I'm doing this thing for almost like a 3,000 time. That is like a really like, yeah. So like basically I decided that I should supposed to be export my artifact like a 100 file per day. Okay, yeah. Like this is the, if I kind of like do this thing 100 file per day, then probably I might gonna complete all my artifact within a kind of like assembly within a kind of like a month. I would kind of like upload my artifact. But that is like a, I thought that it might gonna take a month, but that is not. It will gonna take kind of like a more than a month. Okay, what exactly happened? After I export my files, the file size is really massive, like a humongousaurus, like a probably just like that key, like a audio file takes a kind of like assembly 300 MB. The video size would be kind of like assembly 1.2 GB or 1.3 GB. It was like a really massive. And obviously is this thing 1.3 GB file of uploading on YouTube platform in 4G, like I don't really have Wi-Fi. So how do I supposed to do this thing? I need to find a kind of like some another way. So there is another software called Handbrake. Okay, Handbrake is kind of like simply reduce the file size with kind of like a simply like a having that quality, but reduce the file size. And Handbrake is kind of like a do lot of kind of like heavy lifting for me. Okay, like basically is this thing I kind of like simply encode all my videos, all my artifact into the Handbrake. Okay, sorry, like Handbrake. Okay, yeah, and that 1.2 GB of file converted into almost like a 300 to 400 MB. Sometime it kind of like a get than less than kind of like a 50 MB. Why? Because there is no video at all, na? Like basically just a kind of like only one blank screen, and there is just a text, nothing at all. There is no kind of like a pixelized movie and things like that. Okay. So basically that's why it kind of like simply drastically reduce my kind of like a quality, so drastically reduce my like a file size, which is kind of like a really good for me. And that's why I kind of like simply upload those artifact on YouTube platform. So my motto is a kind of like a simple. First of all is that export 100 files. Okay, first of all, do my content creation. Okay, yeah, like a wake up, do my content creation, make a video, make a kind of like a short. Okay, yeah, it takes almost like a 4 hour. Then after that, I have to be kind of like a simply editing my artifact. 100 files per day, but sometime I didn't match 100 files. Sometime I kind of like a stretch to the 70-80 files per day. After I kind of like a done this thing, I kind of like a put it all those files like a 70-80 files into the kind of like a simply the Handbrake. Handbrake will kind of like simply reduce that file size. Okay, yeah. Make sure that everything should supposed to be happen before the 10 p.m. Okay, yeah, 10 p.m. or 12 p.m. Because during the night I make sure that ki all my artifact shoots, I will kind of like put those artifact into the upload. So during the night it will kind of like upload. Okay, because during the night speed is unlimited. Because at that time I was kind of like using Vodafone. Okay, yeah, and Vodafone has a plan that ki like I was actually using the kind of like assembly the like a 4G network. Okay, yeah, and in my plan there is a from night 12 a.m. to 6 a.m. Internet is free. Internet is free. Like how much you wanted to download, upload, there will be no count. Like basically I have a kind of like something like right now there is a unlimited, but at that time there is a kind of like a 2 GB per day. Okay, yeah. So I can access my internet till 2 GB. After that, net will gonna slow or things like that. So obviously I cannot able to upload my files on daytime because it's not okay. So I make sure that I should supposed to upload my artifact during the night, because during the night I get internet like a slow. Okay, internet free and also fast. Okay, so I make sure that I kind of like upload my artifact during the night. I kind of like a copy all those artifact on kind of like on my mobile phone and kind of like upload all my artifact on YouTube platform. Okay, yeah. So this is how I did for almost like a 2-3 months. Okay, non-stop every single day. And basically right now I have all my artifact on YouTube platform. All my artifact on YouTube platform. Right now I'm really free regarding about like a basically is this in a right now I'm not really kind of like a stored all my kind of like a files on local drive. No, I just kind of like a record. Okay, it stay on the mobile phone. Then I kind of like edit those artifacts. Some of the audio artifacts are kind of like a convert into the video by Premiere Pro, upload those artifacts, and I didn't really save in locally. Why? Because basically saving in locally is a kind of like a feel more like a lot of work to do. Like a uploading things kind of like a very much easy right now, because right now I am using 5G network, Jio 5G network, and it is also unlimited. There is no day, night, and things like that. So there is unlimited. So whenever I want, I just kind of like simply upload my artifact. Okay, yeah. So I'm not kind of like utilizing any locally, nothing at all. Now YouTube will not gonna delete the artifact by itself. Okay, yeah, that is a one thing for sure. My hard disk will gonna corrupt, but YouTube will not gonna delete the video. So that is okay with that thing. Okay, yeah. So regarding about the question says that is my file structure, storage system, and backup process organized, safe, and future proof? I think yeah. Like basically my artifact is actually safe, so that is one good thing. my file like another content like my content creation like basically is this thing. I create a content regarding about poster designing, okay, and all my assets are actually saved in my local drive, and which does not consume that much amount of space, but it's kind of like a something okay, yeah, which is actually stored in local drive and it's fine, okay, yeah. It's not really that I could able to upload those files on cloud base because it doesn't make any sense at all, okay, yeah. Because like basically if I could upload this thing, then I have to be download this thing. It takes kind of like another hassle to kind of like upload and download and things like that. And also is this thing na ki like it's convenient for like it having those files in locally, it's kind of like a bit more better. Regarding about backup, I save all those files on kind of like external hard drive, which is not a kind of like a future proof backup, but it is kind of like a fine for me probably. So yeah, that's it. So these are my kind of like a file structure system, storage system, and backup system, which is future proof probably. All right, so this is it. I should supposed to be end here. Thank you.